Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll try to take a day off on me, didn't you?
What's going on then?
Nothing. We have nice, some, manufacturing, college.
That's fine.
Thanks. Expiring. Get too much right time. How's your wife tonight?
She can only do one.
Stay home today?
She can only do one a year, so.
Say what?
She can only do one a year.
That lady might run back over to Arkansas.
Not yet, she's going, probably Thursday.
Agriculture. Since like a week ago, not a week ago.
That's right.
So.
The meeting of the mayor and board of aldermen is called to order. All right, first we'll have a prayer. And I'm gonna ask, Reverend Harris, will you lead us in prayer?
You don't say no to prayer, do you?
I appreciate it.
Do I get to come to you?
Here's case nine.
Shall we bow and stand and bow for prayer? Gracious and everlasting Father, we come right now, Heavenly Father, first and foremost to give thanks and praise to you for what you have already done and what you're going to do. We're calling on you, Father, this evening for guidance, blessings, and prayer for all present and who are not present, those we know and those we do not know. Heavenly Father, we're asking for a special blessing on this meeting and all of the meetings that held here in this gathering and in others as well. Gracious Father, we asking that you would touch our hearts, that we would be in harmony with each other, that we will be able to go back home and other direction to say we are well pleased for this day and for this action that's going to take place at this place this day. Gracious Father, we ask that you continue to bless and guide each of us now and forevermore. These and other blessings we ask in your darling Son, Jesus' name, and God's children said, Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Harris. Next, roll call, please.
Alderman Fountain. Alderman Jones, absent. Alderman Shipp. Alderman Teal. Alderman Merriweather, absent. Mayor, you have 3 board members present.
Thank you. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, I want to ask for prayers for several families that are in bereavement and all the bereaving families, even if we don't have them here. First, prayers for the family of Mr. James Robinson, for the family of Ms. Anna Louise Boyd, the family of Ms. Dorothy Stewart Neville, Mr. James Earl Jones, the actor, for musician Frankie Beverly's family, for the family of Chandler Brock Jones, for the Ambrose family, and also for the family of Ms. Carol Jane Taylor and the family of Mr. Arthur Lee Bunny Sellers. And I also like to ask for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. In addition to that, this is also National Voter Registration Day, and so we'd ask everybody to please, if you haven't done so, remind someone that you know and someone you don't know as well. I encourage everyone to go out and register to vote. As we know, there is an election coming up, and I want to commend Russ College for doing a beautiful commemoration today with the march from Russ College to the March County Courthouse Circuit Clerk's office. And we had the opportunity to meet a Mr. Leroy Frazier, who was one of the students at Russ from the I think it was 1971, that he registered to vote, but he actually had to file a lawsuit, and the suit was Frazier v. Calicut. And so just a very interesting moment and real life experience that they gave to the students today. So I commend them for that. And just recently also, another great thing in our community is that I just received notification that the Holly Springs Primary School received an A accountability rating for 2024 through 2025. They're aiming for the A++, but they do receive this. Which good news is always welcome. So next also, we have the adoption of the agenda. I do need to add Ida B. Wells. And I'd like for that to be the first item under the regular agenda. And we'll put that as 9A. And I did speak with Reverend Harris, and I expressed to her that she could come to this meeting. She had some things that she wanted to talk with us about and share with us. And so you'll add her as 9A. And with that, I'll ask for motion to adopt the agenda. Okay, yes, okay.
Motion on the motion to hire Steve English as a detective, the Holly Springs Police Department, rate of pay of $21.52 per hour.
Okay, let's add that as 21A. All right, and you said you have a couple of things.
Next one will be a motion to hire and appoint Mr. Desmond Howe as an uncertified police officer, Holly Springs Police Department, rate of pay of $15.50 per hour.
Okay, add that as 21B.
Next one will be a motion to hire and appoint Mr. Keith Johnson as a certified officer, Holly Springs Police Department, with a rate of pay of $21.52 per hour.
All right, add that as 21C. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
I move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Is there a second? All right, so move by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Teal. All those in favor? Motion passes, 3 ayes, 0 nays, and 2 absent in Meriwether and Jones. All right, next, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda. The consent agenda contains the following: motion to authorize transfer of $146,136.72 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund. This is August sales tax. Item number 2, motion to authorize transfer of $2,921.41 from the general ACH fund to the public money market. This is August tourism. Item number 3, motion to authorize payment of $1,460.71 to the Holly Springs Tourism. This is one-hand August tourism settlement. Item number 4, motion to authorize transfer of $31,475.16 from the general ACH fund to the public money market. This is August tourism. Item number 5, motion to authorize payment of $15,737.58 to the Holly Springs Tourism, one-half August tourism settlement. Item number 6, motion to authorize transfer of $62,562.86 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund. This is homestead. Item number 7, motion to authorize transfer of $45,990.61 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund. This is fire rebate. Item number 8, motion to authorize payment of $460,330.13 to the Holly Springs School District. This is August settlement. And item number 9, motion to authorize transfer of $900 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund for ABC liquor tax. Is there a motion?
Well, move to adopt the consent.
So move by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Teal. All those in favor? All those in favor? Motion passes, 3 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent in Meriwether and Jones. All right. Item number 9A, and this is the Ida B. Wells Museum. And we'll ask you all to come forward. I do apologize for not having it on the agenda. However, I spoke with Reverend Harris quite some time ago, and she had expressed that she has some concerns, and so please come forward.
I need to speak with my members because I'm totally confused on some issues here.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
And this is my understanding, and I think my board was on the same impression, that we were prepared to make a presentation, but it seemed to be a little disorganized in terms of time. Oh, you want to make you, you want to ask, but can we ask for another day?
You go ahead and make a presentation.
Okay, you need another chair. It's gonna be 2 of us because see, my understanding was, and which is what I told my board, that our board going to meet with this group today. And that's what we had did some preparation for. And so, sorry about the breakdown in communication.
Yes, ma'am. My understanding was-
I must admit now, because see, I've been to your office so many times, have so many memos and so on. But
Well,
in any
our
case,
last conversation was that you requested to come to like one of the board meetings to do a presentation, so,
well, that was,
yes, ma'am. So it's
we were
fine.
supposed to get, okay, never mind all of that. We're here for two reasons,
Yes, ma'am.
two important reasons.
All right, we're ready, go ahead.
You,
Please state your name for the record.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Well, actually, I have an agenda. Tony, do you have the agenda? Some things that I would like to take a look at.
can you pass the rest of these to some of our board members?
I don't know where this proposal is. And you know what, I have to apologize. I've been at the doctor half of the day, and then I get here, I think you all turn that, what is it, that elevator.
Well, that happened when the storm happened, so they.
It
ordered
does.
parts and everything, so,
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
that was a jive joke. Would you pay us though? Give me one, make sure I have it. Open. It's not water. Okay, I'm going to be very brief. It's not going to be long. I just want to talk to you a bit about the lease for the Ida B. Wells Museum. And we was supposed to have been in a pipeline some time ago to upgrade. And so what we want to do today is ask the board, taking into consideration, we have been in the building now 24 years, actually 24 years. And so what we want to ask the board now is that in order for us to continue to operate in a business professional way, is that we need to be able to tell the company or whatever we're trying to do that we are either renting or we renting or we own the building. And that's have created some serious issues for us. And that is that people, like for instance, 2003, I think it was, when we had a pipe bust in the back side of the building and the back end of the building. And that's on Christmas Day when I walked into the museum, I could swim in the back side. And then we couldn't get the proper insurance report to turn in to claim our loss or anything. And then the company that we had, they dropped it. They dropped our insurance. So then we spent some months and some days closed because we didn't have no proof to the insurance that we own or either rent. Now, we had a lease. One of them got destroyed, I know, in the incident. The other I brought to you some time ago. And so what we want to do to be on solid ground, to know where do we stand with the city of Holly Springs as it relates to a lease. We're asking this evening for you all to work on providing a lease for us that we can operate without having to do a guessing game. Look at something there.
Well, my name is Charles Miller. I am a retired engineer. I'm from Lakeland, Tennessee. A lot of people have aversions to outsiders. I'm really not. I descended from Holly Springs on both sides of my family, related to the Cottrells, Bishop Cottrell, and I'm the great grandson of Professor Logan Gorman, who was the principal of the Mississippi Normal School. I got into this relationship kind of on a humbug. I was down here doing genealogy searches. I went to the museum, met Reverend Harris, and we've just been kind of coordinating together. I'm here basically to make a proposal to you. Historically, this museum has operated on volunteer labor and services. If you are aware that that's not a good business plan, and it certainly will not sustain the museum going forward. So, being an engineer, I've been registered in Mississippi for over 50 years. I thought that I would use my abilities to plan a development plan that would ensure that this museum would remain. Um, I came up with a 5-year plan, and then I enlisted the help of some of my architectural friends, and we have a 10-year plan. I've got some real horsepower on this project. Harold Thompson was my partner when we had Thompson Miller Architects in the 70s. And he is the architect that designed the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. And he also designed the latest museum, the National Museum of African American Music in Nashville. And I challenge you, if you ever go to Nashville, you have got to go to that museum. It is totally off the chart. The future of museums will not be some dusty little collection of artifacts and stuff that people get in a car and drive for. They are going to be interactive. So within my plan, I came up with some things that I know can be done that they're not funded, that they will have to be funded, but we need clarity on the lease. As it stands right now, our lease can be canceled within 30 days notice by either party. There's a $1 a year lease payment, but it can be canceled. It would be impossible to enlist donors when you're talking about something that could cost upwards of $15 to $20 million when you have such a short lease agreement. Now, Harold told me that the lease arrangement for Nashville is a 77-year lease, $1 a year, with CAM, Common Access Maintenance Fees. In their case, they pay CAM of $1.5 million a year. We don't expect to pay anything like that. But the purpose that I'm here is to try to encourage you to solidify the lease standings so that as the board evolves, and when I say evolves, we're obviously in a mode of succession. Our president passed not too long ago, and not being immortal, everybody else is gonna be gone. I'll be gone, everybody be gone. So there has to be a succession plan, and it should be done orderly. I have people on my team in Memphis who have one lady, Rachetta Watkins, has a 501c3 that specializes in transitional transitions of 501 organizations. So I have that access. I have as I told you, I have the architect that's going to help me, and then I've got 2 other engineers that I could probably assess the value at maybe $100,000 worth of labor that I can provide in terms of going forward just for the planning of this. I have passed out to you a copy of of what I consider a 5-year plan. Now, if it's one thing I'm not, it's I'm not the most skilled in these newer applications of AutoCAD and SketchUp and all of that. But the first phase of our plan would be to obtain the rear yard. Both three sites are involved. The Ida B. Wells site, the site to the south. On one half of the site, there's a residence, but they're both double lots. So my plan would involve capturing that rear lot for the parking. Phase one, we would build about half of the parking lot. We would change the entrance basically from the front to the side. And for those who have a copy of this, you can see I have a hardscape shown with a note that that would be a statue of Ida B. Wells. Now I know there's a group in Holly Springs that is working on a statue, but I'm going to give you a dire warning based on the experience in Memphis. That statue needs to be placed where somebody can watch it most of the time. The one in Memphis, I have seen human feces. It has become the bedroom of homeless people. And just recently, I don't know when this happened, I had offered them a design and they refused it. But they built the statue low inside of an existing wall. No provision for water getting out or whatever. Just recently, they have come in and backfilled it, put a slab in it. So now you've got this. She was already a tiny little lady. Now you've got this little lady standing in the middle of a concrete island, and the ground comes up about halfway her kneecap. I got a picture in my phone that I wish I could show you. It's unbelievable. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but that that is not coming to Holly Spring. That's already here. I've seen the park down below the where the proposed location is, and I've seen it filthy. Memphis has a cleanup crew that's supposed to take care of that thing every day, and it's still filthy. But anyway, that's a side note. Um, that's phase one. We would build a side entry, hopefully be able to coordinate with the statute committee and ask them to consider relocating because it should not be either or, it should be both and. My vision as an architect is that this this campus that I have proposed will be someday will be as fundamental as Martin Luther King Center is in Montgomery, Alabama. There's absolutely no reason why not. And when I was in school, I had a professor. He said, you answer the questions to solve a problem: who, what, when, where, and how, and why. He said, but that's not the real question you need to ask. The real question you need to ask is, so what? Why would we tell the story of Ida B. Wells to anyone else unless we intend to live it? Unless she was about freedom, she was about justice, she was about as Spike Lee would say, do the right thing for everybody. If we build this campus as we see it, people will be coming here from all over the world. It's not just for Ida B. Wells Museum. This would bring in untold revenue, and it could be a living entity. I don't have, my friend did and I'll make it, I'll end now, but my architect friend did a 10-year plan, and it terminated with a 10,000 square foot museum added on the site where the existing residence is. And then at the last site that's down on Spring Street, an Ida B. Wells Community Center. I know you have the Smith Center, and that takes care of large events, but small events, smaller things could very easily be done. And this is 10 years from now, and it can be done. It is being done, and we can do it. But we need clarity on our stay here. You know, I mean, you can't ask people to contribute to a multi-million-dollar fund with a lease that could cancel in 30 days. So with that, I will rest my case. I will answer any questions that you might have.
So one of the things that I have spoken with Reverend Harris about is that we do have some other organizations and museums within our community that have what's known as a perpetual lease. That extends for years and years, like you talked about the 70 cents, some are 90 something.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm looking at those to see how those were drawn up, and so we're gonna propose the same thing to the school. So that's something that we talked about. We also talked about, you mentioned the statue, of the plan. And so, so you're looking to get with the other group and just to have the statue that's proposed to actually put it on the property that's now utilized by the Ida B. Wells Museum. Is that what you're?
I can see, I honestly can see young women coming out of the front doors of that museum in their wedding gowns, walking in front of this plaza to be married in what would be the most popular wedding venture in the state of Mississippi. Yes, that's what I want. I don't want it to be either or. If we enhance what we have and build on that, that just makes it even more impressive and more of a selling point on what can happen here in Holly Springs, Mississippi. And I'm thinking in terms of big dollars, but we need a more substantial lease arrangement. We really do.
Right, so that's something that we talked about, and that's definitely is a concern. And so something, like I said, that I'm looking at, I actually mentioned it to Reverend Harris, and telling her that we have other organizations that have those types of leases now. We have other historic homes that actually belong to the city that also have those types of leases. So, that's something that I want to look at. I think what you have designed is really lovely and beautiful. You talked about, I guess I need a clarification for me as I look at it. You talked about different lots, like a lot behind, acquiring those to be a part of it. So is that something different from the area that's already there?
No, it's
Or you talking about the property that's already connected?
south, the lot south of it. There's a newer house. It's a pretty house, but the lot is a double lot. So at first I'm saying, let's try to subdivide and get the rear half of that lot. And if you look at the plan, that would be on,
So you're referring to the house that's next door to it,
yes, ma'am.
that has like the brick columns out front, right off of Randall?
I think so. It's kind of brownish color. It's a pretty house. That house would remain there for phase one. We don't have to have that. We have to have we would have to have the backyard, half of the backyard. They would still have a huge backyard because of the way that those lots were. Those are some huge lots. So I'm saying, the plan would be to acquire the rear lot of the house next door, and then acquire a lot on the corner in total. And if I can get, I'll get your information. I'm going to send you a sketch of the 10-year plan. I didn't have time to do it. He was in the hospital last night. He got out of the hospital and got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to finish this thing for me.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to, I will send this to you to show you how this thing can roll into a campus. Not just and I almost forgot. The icing on the cake is that once the new museum is built in phase 2, we take all of the stuff out of the house and convert it to a period house with antique furniture, everything the way it was when she lived there, and reconstruct at least one slave quarter That's why we don't show anything on the site up above in the corner. Reconstruct one slave quarter so that a side trip to a trip to the museum would be a trip to a period house that looks exactly as it was when her family, when her mother was a cook there and her father was a carpenter. As a matter of fact, my third grandfather was one of his mentors. Logan Gorman was also a carpenter, and he was 20 years older, and he was one of the mentors that brought her father into his carpentry trade. But I am so convinced of this. I know it can be done. Uh, when we have done our succession on the president and on anything that we need to do with the board, we can get started on this, and I'll be pulling my team together to try to get this, at least get the acquisition part done. Now, once this is done, it's going to require sustaining. 10 years from now, it's going to be something that the city will have to contribute to, but you'll have the money because people will be coming from everywhere, I promise you. And that concludes my presentation.
Do any board members have questions or any comments for Mr. Miller or Reverend Adams?
Any questions from anyone?
Do y'all have any questions? Okay, so none of the board members have any questions at this time. Mr. Miller?
Ma'am?
None of the board members have any questions at this time, so what we'll do is we will take this and look at it under advisement. Ms. Jones, if you'll give him my email address and my cell number as well.
Thank you so
If you
much.
call me and don't reach me, send me a text.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you all. Reverend, here's I'll talk to you later this week. So we can pull documents together.
Beg your pardon,
I said, I'll get with you later this week,
regarding,
this as well.
regarding the lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I know you said.
Right. He's
Okay.
gonna send me some information
Okay.
regarding his proposal.
Okay, and so you will get with me next week
Yes, ma'am.
regarding the lease?
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. Next, thank you all so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to item number 10, city general bills and claims. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to pay the city.
The second.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Moore, your second by Alderman Teal to pay the city general bills and claims. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. Also, on the bills and claims, we have an additional invoice. Mr. Fitz, could you come forward, please? Good evening, Mr. Fitz. All right.
Or,
All right, go ahead.
on that, on that item that we had last board meeting on getting the tractor fixed, I had called Bonita Fountain Ship. I had called y'all about the invoice, and we had to pay extra $200.76 instead of the $8,200. Cause now we got to pay for shipping. See, at first, if we would have got it then when they gave me the invoice, we had to pay for the shipping. Now we got to pay for the shipping.
A motion to pay that additional amount. Mr. Fitz.
So it's gonna be $8,474. We approved $8,200.
So it's $8,400.
It's 74 cents.
And this is for the invoice for the repair of.
The sidearm tractor with the boot shop.
Right. Is there a motion?
Yeah.
This is to the utilities.
No, street department.
Street
Yeah.
department.
And another $200 to that.
It was authorized at a different meeting, probably the last meeting.
Last meeting,
And since that time he found that, it's no pretty simple.
at first the quote was at 8,200.
Was the amount actually put into the motion?
Yes.
$200.
Yeah, I meant it.
$200.76.
Yes.
Is there a motion for a minute?
You have a motion, you have to have a motion to read this. You have to have a motion to read this.
We amended should be fine, because you all have already approved the actual payment of it. It's just, this is a different amount, and because you put the actual amount in the motion, you just need a motion to amend to reflect the actual amount.
$200.76.
It's to Covington Sales and Service.
176 or 74?
$200.74.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to amend, the amount, approved to Covington Sales and Service for the, repair the sidearm tractor in an additional amount of $200.74.
Second. It's a move by Alderman Till, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? All those opposed? 5 ayes, 0 nays.
Yeah,
All right, next, city utility bills and claims.
I believe that we pay the city, utility bill on class.
Is there a second? Yeah, we'll do that separate, like we did that. All right, is there a second?
I'll say.
It's a move by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Johnson. All those in favor of the approval of the city utility bills and claims? All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. Next, Ms. Russell. And I believe Ms. Russell left a copy at everyone's location. Good evening, Ms. Russell.
Good evening, everyone.
All right.
Um,
You explain what that matter is, but
this invoice was brought to me on yesterday after I turned my board docket in through CJ Enclosures, Audio and Accessories here, well, Holly Springs, but Lake Center. This was an invoice for installment of our flashing light kits plus the service fee for our new utility vehicles for service. So since it came after I turned my board docket in, I'm requesting that extra $2,000+ for payment. Yes, ma'am, I did send it in an email to Mayor Gibson and him, so he is aware of it. Yes, ma'am.
is there a motion?
This item that we went to next, we put on.
They want to go ahead. So, and it's good till we close out, because we're closing out the budget, so it's good that. Is there a motion to approve the payment to CJ Closure to go to the license budget of $2,541.25?
He verbally told me it was okay. So that's why I brought copies for everyone.
I tell you, we can hold it until he decides to return to the phone and make sure that everyone's comfortable. All right, next, we have the motion to authorize pertaining to expert legal services of Black LLC. Attorney Perry did send an email a few days ago, something he was back, this meeting, but he's still not here. So that we should consider this, I hope everybody received the email from him. You did get it, it was about, 2 weeks ago, and he was inquiring as far as questions, so you all did, the process. All right, I'm gonna hold that. He was expressing the letter and the new information we have received from TVA, and he was inquiring as to, how everybody wanted to move forward. So you hadn't received it. All right, so I'll check with him, and I'll also forward what I received. Yes, Alderman Campbell.
And is there an update on the situation that we have been prior to the
You saw that.
Any updates? Any update about the, where we are in the investigation? And what is going on with it?
I have not heard anything directly from them, but there have been some things in the news, and there have been some posts that I've seen that they've been moving forward with the, if you're referring to the Public Service Commission,
Yes.
that they have been moving forward, but I have not heard anything personally lately. But they have posted some things. I know that they have retained some individuals to represent them and to conduct this investigation.
Is it complete?
I have not heard whether it is or not, so, but it's something that we definitely need to keep our eyes on and be ready. That is why I'm recommending the expertise of Black men, because they dealt with utility companies before. So I'll definitely have it on the next agenda, so if you have any questions by then, call.
How long?
I don't understand.
In other words, we need to know about approximately how much the fees are going to be. For
So,
Black men. I know it's the hourly rate has been different.
so as far as, because of one of the things that they need to start, so they have offered an amount for retaining, and then they have
Who's their member?
presented to us the hourly rate. And I believe we talked about that in executive session. That's more, Attorney Carey said that was an executive session. But once we make a decision, then yes, it will be something for out front. But he did send an email inquiring about that and sending everything to make everybody aware of a matter that had occurred. Okay. So everyone is saying they didn't receive it. So we'll check on that. I'll forward it to you. Let's see. The next item is, that just making sure that everybody's aware of the TVA rate increase, and I believe that was the 1st of October. We'll get some more information out to our ratepayers. As you know, this is the same thing that happened last October. And so this time I think it's just a little bit higher. That is going to affect everybody's utility bill, so we want to make sure that we're keeping everyone informed about that.
Is this a mandatory rate increase?
It's, looks like it, yes, it's across the board, but, you know, people can say that. That's why also it's important for us to have experts in that work for me with all of that. One of the issues that we've had is, no one has really looked at all of the contracts that go together for TPA to find out exactly what they can require us to do and what they can't require us to do. And of course, we've had some challenges, with some of the things. I think that they're utilizing that, as we talked before, as far as trying to force. One of the things they tried is to get the city to also increase its rates. And, you know, I go on the record that I'm opposed to that, based on the fact that our major issue is dealing with the meter reading. And so we're definitely working on that, but, we just want to make sure that our ratepayers are aware and ready for that. We'll get something out soon.
So this mandatory increases that they're imposing to us. But this is not something that the board votes on to impose to the.
No, I just wanted to make sure people are aware, because it's going to affect the ratepayers, just like when they did the previous one.
Yes.
It also affected people's bills, and we received a lot of calls about bills being higher. So I want to make sure that we make people aware. This time it's a little bit more than the last time. Let me get it so I can. It's 5.25%. This time 5.25% is the base rate increase, and it's going to take effect October 1st, 2024. And so we want to make sure that our ratepayers are aware of that. All right. Next. Item number 14, Mr. Pitts, will you come forward, please? And this is a request for training by Mr. Pitts. Good evening again.
Good evening. This training is for public work. It's for all the new equipment and the safety procedures that we supposed to do. While we out there working on the street. So this will be my first one going to it. And it's gonna be October 27th through the 30th. But I have more information at the next board meeting on it.
Do you know where it is?
It's gonna be in Biloxi. It's the MPW conference. That's why I said next board meeting, I have all the paperwork and everything, so you show.
You don't.
So is there like a time frame for the registration fee or?
Yes, the registration fee gonna be, on the 26th,
How much?
not the 26th, the 24th.
Of September?
Yes, October,
Do you have to register by then?
by the 24th.
How much is?
It's, $160 plus hotel and per diem. It's $40 a day for the training.
Alright. So Mr. Fisk is requesting to go to, the MAPWA, Biloxi, Mississippi, October 27th to the 30th, with a registration fee of $160 plus hotel and per diem. It's removed by Alderman Teal, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. And then item number 15, Mr. Fitz, would you like to move forward with that?
Yes, it's, item 15 is gonna be the removal of the debris came from the ice storm in 2021. And I have 2 quotes on this. And what it is, I got one long, one big pile down by the dog pound. It's 300 feet long, 55 feet wide, and 15 feet tall. So I estimate it to be like maybe about 250 loads. But these companies they willing to come in and burn it. That we already got a pile from the last storm that we had in 2020. That we had Mr. Harris came and removed the debris. So that hole's still there. So that's where most of it piled up there. And then on one sheet I got at my shop, I don't have no room to pull around because I got everything piled up there. And it's 89 feet long, 48 feet wide, 15 feet high. Then I also got a big pile of leaves that came from 2 years I've been picking up, but I ain't got this on here yet. Cause I still got a little room to put some leaves. But I need the debris from the ice storm moved.
So what are the quotes that you
I got 2 quotes. I got one quote from Baines and Son, Baines Company, and this is for $33,367.95. That's cause they got to haul the debris from the shop down to the pile.
All right, and what's your second?
And my second quote is Harris Industries, and this is $21,000.
All about.
They gonna haul it from the shop down to the burning pile. But everything else is at the burning pile. There's one spot at my shop that got to be moved to the burning pile. And like I said, I estimate that to be maybe about 50 loads. And I had a company gave me a quote on coming hauling everything out for $225 a load. So it'll be cheaper to get it burnt than hauling it out. Cause I add everything up for $225 a load. You're looking at, yeah.
So, Mr. Fitz has presented, 2 quotes for debris removal, from 2 locations, or from various locations. The first one.
And them the
was
pictures I gave y'all.
For Bain in the amount of $33,367.95. And then the second one was for Harris Industries in the amount of $21,000. What's the
I move that we authorize the street project to
utilize Harris Industries for debris removal in the amount of $21,000.
All right, is there a second? It's the move by Alderman Fountain, second by Alderman Ship. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes, 5 ayes, 0 nays. All right, thank you.
Mr. Biggs, just, when are they planning on starting?
I guess whenever it got passed.
Do they give you a time frame on how long it would take?
I think they both of them said a week and a half.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, next, item number 16, motion to authorize payment of $10,809.53 for Highland Fire Equipment for the 2024 County Fire Day Fund.
Chief Crane is getting some equipment. The county gives us $15,000 a year, so he needs to expend that money before the 30th.
Is there a motion?
I'll motion to authorize payment of $10,809.53 to Hyman Fire Equipment, for the 2024 County Fire Rebate Funds.
Thank you. The move by Alderman Shields, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes, 5 ayes, 0 nays. All right, item number 17, Chief Crane, if you'll come forward, please. This is a motion to declare certain fire department equipment as surplus and authorize them to be sold.
Good evening. How is you all? We could be better. We could be better. Before you, you should have two different items there. Some equipment we're trying to declare surplus and get sold. So these monies can go forward for purchase. At the city shop. They don't have copies?
No, sir.
Ms. Claiborne, I give you a folder
When?
today.
And go back in. So I'm not sure.
She's still here?
No, she's not.
Oh my goodness, y'all don't know that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Arrests. I digress. I rest.
While we are looking at some other items, would you like to go in the office and check and see?
Is it unlocked, you think?
Check it and see.
Let me do that, please. Y'all don't know that I'm talking about, so you wouldn't understand.
I tell you, outgoing, and then I'll call if I don't see it.
I'm faster now.
Pass it to you, for a moment.
Table and then come back.
Yeah.
I'll run down there and look.
I'll go at the end of, public comment.
Roger that. Thank you.
All
right.
All right, Alliance Healthcare, they asked for the execution of a memorandum that's utilized in the event that there is an emergency such as COVID-19, similar to what they needed in New York. There's not enough room in their facility. They were asking for the assistance of the city so that they could utilize the multi-purpose building. Some of you all have discussed about it. I did communicate with Mr. Aiken, who was working with Alliance. And he said that if there are any concerns or changes that you wanted in the memorandum to just let them know. A copy was passed out to you at a previous meeting. So I'd like to see if we could get that execution, and then we'll let Attorney Perry look at it. If there are any concerns, they don't have to issue them. Has Attorney Perry looked at it? No, that's what I'm saying. He hasn't been able to respond. So they're saying if there are any changes or anything, that they don't have a problem with that.
So can we table that until the attorneys look at it?
Table it again. We'll hold it again.
Thank you.
All right, next we have public comments. Oh, I always forward everything.
Okay.
So just matter of what a response back. All right, public comment, please state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes. First, we have Mr. Smith.
Good evening, Jim Smith. Mayor, thank you very much for putting the public comment closer to the end of the meeting. It gives us an opportunity to actually discuss what happens during the meeting. And to the board, thank you for hiring Mr. Jones as the GM of HSUD and allowing him to speak at these meetings and the budget meetings. The more he speaks, the stronger my case against the city of Holly Springs gets. Might I suggest that you guys actually listen to what he says, review the claims in my lawsuit, and then settle with me as quickly as you can. And I can guarantee you, don't hire Blackman and Blackman, because PSC is watching these meetings and listening to your GM of HSUD, and that is not good. Secondly, Mr. Jones indicated at the budget meeting that he was now going to make sure that the meter reading contractor adheres to their contractual obligations. Prior to this commitment, and I know you guys approved this quote unquote contract off of an email because I was at the meeting, but before this, they were violating the terms of their contract. Are you guys paying those guys for violating the terms of their contract when they weren't in, they weren't in compliance, and you're going to pay them? And was there a learning curve outlined in that contract? Because when I hire somebody, I'm not giving them on-the-job training. I'm hiring a professional to do their job. But it seems like this board is okay for them to get through this learning curve. Alderman Jones said it best, and nobody addressed it. And what he said is he knows, the board knows what the problems are with HSUD. What's the plan to fix it? So you got Mr. Jones in the back of the room tonight. He's had 2 weeks since the last meeting, and Andre Jones asked him, what's the plan to fix it? As a taxpayer and as a ratepayer and the rest of the ratepayers, I think they deserve to hear an answer to what Mr. Andre Jones said. What's the plan to fix this? Because this just goes on and on. This just goes on and on and on. And we get pointed fingers, and everybody, I don't like you, so I'm not going to talk to you, and I don't like you, so I'm not going to talk to you. And here are the ratepayers and the taxpayers, and we just want it fixed. My billing is still not getting to me in time. And when I brought it up at this meeting, Mr. Jones said it was technical and it was complicated. But at that budget meeting the other day, he said it wasn't technical. So my bill gets read in a timely fashion. I just don't get billed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Next, we have Michelle Anderson. Ms. Anderson, please come forward, state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
My name is Michelle Anderson. I live at 125 West Tullahoma Avenue. I've been asked to speak on behalf of my neighbors as well who couldn't be here tonight. Over the last 10 days, we have lost 8 cats in our neighborhood. I found my 10-year-old cat, Dottie, dead Saturday morning. It looked like she had been drugged through mud, and she was covered in mud and dirt. Her body appeared broken. Across the street, one of our community cats was found that same morning dead. A few days before that, Lisa McCarter's cat, 15-year-old cat, was observed by Roy Kerner being mauled to death. She was disemboweled. The dogs went for the gut and pulled everything out with her screaming. And he witnessed the dogs that did it. A the night before my Dottie was killed, the same dogs were observed roaming our neighborhood. Lisa McCarter and I found the dogs. They're very distinct and they live on Lemack Avenue. I have pictures of them and statements for y'all if you would want. She and I both approached the people at the house and they denied ownership. According to the code enforcement, that does not matter. The keeper of these dogs is responsible. They were nice about it, but they denied ownership. There are 4 dogs running loose down there. 3 of them are unneutered males who are going to run in a pack and be aggressive. They have a propensity to be aggressive and can really do some harm. We've also lost 6 community cats. They're missing. We feed them in our neighborhood and they're all gone. The dog control, animal control was called. I called late Saturday afternoon and the dispatcher, who was really nice, and said he'd already been dispatched to the Lemack Avenue. But I had just left there and the dogs were still running loose. I went there last night. They're still at large. I had to look that pit bull in the face, knowing it had killed my cat and several others. And I don't blame the dogs. It is not my desire that they get put down. It's the owners, it's the humans that are not taking.
Your 3 minutes are up, but if you will give Ms. Jones your information and also if you have the address for the house on Lemack, let us know that, and then we'll contact you tomorrow to see what we can do, and I'll also contact our animal control officer to see if he's found and to see if he took the traps out.
Okay, I would, one more thing, rather than seize them and euthanize, under state law, to seize them for their neglect and possible adoption is a better option. These are just neglected animals that need to be neutered, cared for, and fed and water. There was no food or water anywhere around.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Actually, our animal control officer received an award last year for being, I can't think of the technical term, but it's a no-kill location. So he tries to place and works with different people in the community. However, that will be determined by the number of spaces that we have. So, but I will talk with him tomorrow and see.
Well, I asked that he come by, and I ask again because something really needs to be done. Small children are also in our neighborhood.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Evans. Please come forward. Please state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name's Alicia Evans. My concern is a dead tree in front of my house that's on the city property. I reported to this office about a month ago that one of the branches had fallen on the power line at the corner of East College and Waffle. To this day, it is still hanging on the power line. We had pest control come out and look at the tree. It is actively infested with termites. It is dropping branches daily. And at this point, the bark is coming off of the bottom of the tree. I have a tree expert here with me to attest to the severity of the condition of the tree.
Hey, I'm Mitch Robinson. I'm a ISA certified arborist and have a qualification in tree risk assessment. Unrelated to this, it's something I went and did a few weeks ago to get that certification. I've lived here for about 10 years and am looking to get more engagement with the community, particularly around trying to protect our historic trees in this community. I did look at this individual's tree there in the northeast side of the square. It is what I would consider a high-risk tree, particularly that it's over the sidewalk. There are limbs that are currently hanging on the power line with significant weight. So the power issue alone, I think, should be addressed. But beyond that, it's over a sidewalk and could very easily fall in their house. It has substantial brown rot, even outside of the termite damage, which is secondary. So it certainly needs to be addressed as soon as possible.
Thank you both for coming. Ms. Evans did talk with me a few days ago, so the matter has been turned in along with the photos that you provided. So hopefully before the end of the week, we'll be able to have it taken care of.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next, Ms. Sarah LaSure. Wait a minute, did I miss something? Oh, Mr. Bird. Come forward, please. My apologies. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Please state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
All right. My name's Mike Bird. I live in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Hadn't been here to see y'all in a while, and I know y'all been missing me, so I thought I'd come back, stir you up a little bit, and let you know I hadn't forgot about you. It's good to see everyone. My issues is I got some questions. Of course, I got questions every time, but I ain't never got no answers yet, but I'm still asking questions. I'm like Mr. Smith, I'm not going to quit. I have a utility bill from a month ago. It's a bill for 58 days. The next month I get one, just paid it, 65 days. I ain't seen but 30 or 31 days in a month yet, except February, and it's 28. I don't know how I'm getting billed for these days. I don't, my little mind, it can't get wrapped around that. But anyway, maybe y'all can figure that out for me and let me know something sometime. Also, the street department. You know, I look around town every day. I'm retired, so I ride around and look at things. And used to, they'd keep the curb and the gutter clean where the drains are. Well, all that stuff washes in the gutter. It never gets cleaned out. I've seen sticks that set in the drains for over a month now. Well, thankfully, we hadn't had no rain, so it's been pretty good. But when it does, it washes out in the road and messes people's cars up. We got potholes all over town. Everywhere. They dig the holes up and fix the stuff, but they don't fix the holes back. You know, out there on 78, it's been blocked off for over a month there. I mean, you got to go around, you got to get in the center lane. I mean, you know, stuff like that is just minor stuff, but it's inconvenience and seems like people that's getting paid. I know y'all paying them to do a job, so the job's not getting done, is what I'm saying. So maybe since y'all up here have control over these things, maybe y'all can help some of this stuff get settled to where people will start doing their job if they're getting paid for it. And if they can't do it, get somebody that can. And I want to make one more comment. We have a very important election coming up, and I'm not a politician, but if people don't vote their heart and vote right, we're going to have a major thing in America the next few years, and it's going to affect everybody, no matter who you are, how much money you got, how little money you got, what color you are, or what color you're not. Everybody's going to be affected by what's fixing to happen. And I just hope everybody really thinks about what's going on in this country as a whole, because it's getting to a boiling point, and that's all I have to say. God bless each one of you. Thank you.
All right, yes, Mr. Robinson, you spoke with Ms. Evans. So next we have, did you want to come forward? Did you have?
Yeah, this
something
was
you wanna talk
unrelated.
about?
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name again for the record. Have 3 minutes.
Yes. Again, my name is Mitch Robinson. I live off North Maury Street, right by the high school. And this is my first time to attend an alderman meeting. I've lived in Holly Springs for over 10 years. In particular, I wanted to just acknowledge I've been, to the best of my ability, trying to keep aware and up to date with what's been going on, particularly since Wayne Jones has taken over as the general manager of the utility district. Also talking to people in the community, including Sue Watson, who's probably had a better pulse on what's been going on with the utility district than majority of our community members. So I just wanted to say, first off, I have only been reading what's been written in the paper. I have not spoken directly with any individuals present, including Wayne, for any of these meetings, but that it seems very apparent just from the temperature I'm able to read from the writings in the paper that it is a quite aggressive environment. It seems that is a attack of personalities and of character, and somewhat of a character assassination. So I just had some questions from my limited knowledge around what's been taking place over the last decade with the utility district that I just wanted to bring before the alderman. The first was around the wholesale power contract for TVA, if that's something that's ever been read in detail and in full, and if we are aware as a community that the utility district can only pay the pilot in an accrued year. The next question is directed at the mayor. Why is it that the utility district has over $1 million in currently uncollected funds? The next question also for the mayor is particular to why have we not released the 2021 audit report that's currently in your possession, to my knowledge? And then the final question being, why is it that the utility district is not following general accounting principles in terms of reporting for this? And related to that is that I know in 2022, there was an annual report that was delivered, a fiscal year report that was 7 months late. But that 2021 or 2022 report has not been received as of the date of this report, and was wondering why that is still the case today.
Well, thank you for your comments. So next, we have Mr. Calvert LaSure.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Delbert LaSure from Holly Springs, Mississippi. And I've been at these meetings. I've probably been at more meetings in the past 4 years than most of these aldermen sitting up here. I probably haven't missed one, including special meetings. I was here when the audit, for the mayor requested audits over 5 or 6 different times. You, Mr. Jones, asked her to stop putting it on their agenda because you all wasn't going to do that. I was in this building that night. And then a couple of months later, you start asking about the audits, but you blocked the audits for over 4 or 5 months. And so we look at different things. And I also want to kind of reiterate what Mr. Smith said. Wayne Jones is a failure. And he's a complete failure at this position. I thought that Bill Stone, the real estate agent, would probably go down as the worst GM in HSUD history. Wayne Jones got him beaten because he's just a parrot. He repeats things. He has no idea what he's talking about. And at some point, because you're the only 4 or 5 people in this city that has faith in it. He sat up here the other night at that budget meeting and was talking about raising HSUD rates along with the TVA rates. That's going to impact our parents. And to allow this failure to come up here and convince you to raise the rates on our parents would be you will be turning your back on us. And we're going to look at it like that. Your best bet is to get rid of this failure, Wayne Jones, and move on. You had qualified people that applied for that job that actually had an engineering degree. However, you chose Wayne Jones, Mr. Shipp, the failure. That was a failure in your judgment. There was a lack of judgment there. He cannot, listen to what I'm saying, I'm talking. He cannot, wait a minute, he cannot operate a utility department. He does not have the skills. He does not have the technical skills to do so. He can talk the talk, but he can't walk the walk. He's a failure. And he was a failure the day that you decided to hire him. He's a failure today, and he'll be a failure tomorrow. There's no change in that. And so at some point, we have got to come to the realization that it's time to move on from him. Because what he's doing is actually hurting this entire city. he wants to raise the rates on my mom, an additional whatever on top of TBA, because he wants a relationship. Who cares about his relationship? I could care less about him or his relationship or his technical wording, because that's all what that is. It's time that we move on and get that failure out of that department over there. Thank y'all, and God bless you. And by the way, there was.
Your 3 minutes are up. All right, next on the agenda, we have Marshall Academy. There is a request that I received this afternoon from Marshall Academy. They are having their homecoming celebration on September the 20th, 2024, and they are requesting the assistance of the police and fire department for the protection and street closures. That event will start at approximately 8:15, and again, that's September the 20th, 2024.
Mayor, before we move on to the agenda item, I just want to respond to Mr. LaShire, since he did acknowledge me doing a particular public comment. I do want to clarify that I did express and told the mayor to stop putting that certain group on the agenda, because I wasn't in favor of hiring a company, because we hired a company to do so. And we need to make certain that we clarify what the real issues are and what's really preventing those audits from being done. If it's not because we didn't hire a particular group, it's not because of that. If we hired a particular group to perform a service, it's not my responsibility, because I don't direct the data operations of the city. I don't. So it's very important that we hold people accountable when we award them to do services within the city, because I can't directly direct the daily operations of the city. It's beside me to tell that particular company or whatever the case may be, you know, to go on. If it's not, I'm talking, Mr. LaShire, you had your 3 minutes, I didn't interrupt you. If the company is failing to do its job, someone should have reported to this board saying that this particular company is not doing its job, is not performing the service. And then it's our action and our right to exercise our vote, whether we're going to terminate that agreement or figure out some type of measure to hold that particular person or company accountable for making certain that the audits get done. So we need to I just wanted to clarify that, since you did acknowledge me on that particular measure, and I did tell the mayor that I wasn't going to move forward. That was me. I wasn't going to move forward with another auditing firm, because I felt that we should have held the company that we hired accountable to render those services.
I thank you, Alderman Jones. So there seems to be some confusion. One, it wasn't just as far as even getting a new one for the new year, but it was even when we first started. And I'm so glad that we have Facebook and that we're on tape, because even before we hired the first auditing team that has been delayed, it still was like pulling teeth. It was on the agenda several times, even before the first group, Watkins and Watkins, was hired. Then I did immediately make this board aware as to the issues and the troubles we had. I also made you all aware as to the fact that it appeared that they were working with other agencies with the delays, because we would contact them and they would email and say that they would have it within a couple of weeks, and then we still did not receive it. So therefore, there was no request to replace that one at the time, though I did notify you all as to the delays. There was a request to hire a new company after we had so many issues with the current one that has been with the city, according to the minute book, since 1960 something. It's the same firm. And so that's how that came about. But there was a request repeatedly to have the audits done. When we first came in, this company said that they were delayed because they were working on folks' taxes and also because of COVID-19. As far as hiding or keeping audits from people, I think that came up a while ago as well. There would be no benefit for me there. They didn't come from you, Alderman Jones. That came from Mr. Robinson. And so that would be no benefit. But I just have to say that there's confusion in your statement, Alderman Jones, because on the agenda, not only did I have a new person, but if you look, even Watkins stayed on the agenda for month after month after month when we first got in. even though we knew we were already delayed on the other one. And then I recommended the other company, as well, because it looked like they had so much on their hands, because that's what they were saying, that they were tied up with different things. And then, of course, we ended up dealing with TDA, and they also got involved in our auditing process. We had one representative telling us it would be a few weeks, and another one was saying he did not receive something. And so we definitely have the emails for that. Still waiting now for the last audit. They expressed that they had everything, then they said they didn't, then they asked for a letter from our city attorney. I requested a draft as well, still have not received that, because they said that they were waiting for the letter from the city attorney. So it definitely was not, I want to clarify that, it wasn't just a request to replace, it was the original audit, but each time we met, I did make this board aware of it. That's why when you talk about as far as the replacement, I made you aware of the challenges that I was having. And so if someone is not doing it and you address them, so then that is the next move. You know, so that is the next move.
Just in my response, I'm not the type to, I like to try to be a straight shooter, especially when it comes to this type of business, conducting business of the people. But I have to disagree with you. I can't concur with you in regards to that, in regards to the audits. In my opinion, the audits wasn't prioritized as they should. I don't delve off into the daily operations. So we have our accounting department saying one thing, and then we have the auditing firm saying another. Can I step in as a mediator in that process? No, I really can't, because I don't direct the daily operations of the city as I see it.
And I appreciate you respecting that, because we definitely have those who do not, which has led to part of the delays and the problems as far as people reaching out in contact. So I appreciate that. And as I said, when I first started, people can look at the videos and check it for themselves, as well as the minutes and the agendas, to see how often it was on. So, all right, next we have item 20. Marshall Academy made a request for police and fire assistance for their homecoming activities on September 20th, 2024. And they were started approximately 8:15 that morning. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I move to allow police and fire to assist the Marshall Academy parade, September 20th, 2024, starting around 15 a.m.
Is there a second? It's a move, Alderman Townsend, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. All right, next we have approval of the August 2027 budget meeting minutes and September 3rd, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Mayor, I move that we approve the August 27, 2024 budget meeting minutes, as well as September 3rd, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
It's a move, Alderman Townsend, second by Alderman Teal. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? 5 ayes, 0 nays. All right, next, item 21A, that's yours, Alderman Shipp.
Chief Wall, would you start forward, please?
It's not mine.
Good afternoon. Okay, I got three candidates out there I want to present to the board in your consideration for hire. My first one is going to be Keith Johnson. If you step forward.
21A is Steve English.
21A is Steve English. Okay. Mr. English, step forward. Steve English. I want to present Mr. English for consideration to hire for in our detective division. Kind of short in that division right now. The detective that we have in that division, he's doing patrol duties right now. So we want to try to get somebody else in in that area to help him out. So, and it's going to be Mr. Steve English. He's a certified officer. If anybody have any questions for Mr. English?
I got a question for you. That's not a chief position, is that just another detective added, is that
Yes, that's just the detective position.
position? It's a salary position, right?
Yes.
No overtime? And what is the pay you're offering? What's the thing in the, what was in the budget? It was in the budget? 29, like,
This $44,116.
Detective.
in comparison, the detective has been here for a couple of years. He's been here.
This one right here, certified 1 to 2 year, 2396, 2 to 4, 2436. The 2152 is for a certified officer.
Okay, but the detective is what?
51,700.
Yeah.
2486. Salary.
It's what was you asking?
Is it the same way the detective is already paid?
Yes, as far as detectives, start detective 51,700. 51,700.
Yeah, at that 21 is 44, but according to the pay scale, the 2486, and that's for certified 4 more years, 51,700.
So after 4 years.
If he's been certified for more than 4 years, it's 51,700.
He's certified here for more than 4 years, is certified anywhere.
That's what's not clarified.
I would like to be clear.
So, yeah, my understanding is certified anywhere. Certified officer, if they've been certified for that long.
$51,700 salary.
Question.
Are there any questions? If not, what's your pleasure?
I move to hire Steve English as a certified officer as a detective in Holly Springs Police Department with a pay rate of $24.86 per hour with an annual salary of $51,700.
All right, is there a second? Second. It's been moved by Alderman Shipp, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? All those opposed?
No. And I want to, based on, I understand that Mr. English is a certified officer, but we're gonna have to be clear when we're setting salaries. Is it gonna be certified throughout forever? Or is it gonna be certified here? Because in Holly Springs, you just started. You don't have a 4-year certification here. So that's the reason that I wanna know, and it needs to be clear. Is it gonna be certified for anywhere, or is it just gonna be starting here? So there's the reason for my, no, name.
My understanding of when it was proposed that it was for, it was for here, but. All right, you said nay as well, so 3 ayes, 2 nays. So we'll look and see. As you know, the Detective Walker, who was instrumental, in getting, the new budget and the rates approved, is no longer with us due to horrendous circumstances. So, but I'll check and see if there's notes in the wind. All right, next.
The next one is Mr. Keith Johnson. That's the next one.
Desmond Howe.
Desmond. Okay, it's Mr. Desmond Washington.
Wait a minute, are you doing Johnson or are you doing Washington? Which one? Pick one. If you got it here, let's roll.
She said the next one was on the list was Washington.
Well, you the one that said 21A.
No,
21B with Desmond.
21B is Desmond. Okay, 21B is Desmond. Desmond Washington.
Okay.
So Desmond Washington?
Yes.
Yeah, I make a motion to hire Desmond Washington as a trainee, beginning officer for the city of Holly Springs Police Department, for pay rate $15.50 per hour.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Fountain, second by Alderman Tito. All those in favor? All those opposed? All right, 5 ayes, 0 nays. All right. Next.
And this is Mr. Keith Johnson. He's a certified officer. If anybody have any questions for me or him?
Where are you from, Mr. Johnson?
I'm originally from Rosedale, Mississippi.
From where?
Rosedale.
Where is that?
That's west of Cleveland.
The Delta?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Are you residing in this area?
Not at this time. I'm
Traveling up?
yes. I have no problem with relocating. It's just me, so I have no issue with relocating if needed.
Right now, it's just when you're traveling.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not coming from Rosedale now.
Oh, okay. So I think
Not coming from Rosedale. I'll be traveling from South Haven.
South Haven. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not. That's a long drive from Rosedale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from Jackson.
What's your pleasure? Are there any additional questions?
And I don't see the police, okay. Previous experiences. Police officer.
Yes, I'm currently employed with Newport City at this time. I'm also an SRO, certified SRO officer. I worked in Tallahatchie School District also.
She said, where is your car?
It's about 30 minutes from Starkville.
Exactly. It's 30 minutes from Stockville. It's gonna be West End.
Yes.
With.
Yeah.
Which?
That's a start.
Chief, can I see it back?
And I just want people to know the reason I'm asking about the pay rate is we've had a large turnover in office. They come in and they go out. And the ones that are here staying, attempting to serve, I don't want to bring anyone in making more than the ones that are here that are dedicated to trying to stay and help this department secure the city. And that's my only reason for asking about the salaries, because the people here, they deserve something as well for their dedication and their hard work. I understand these people are certified, but they haven't been certified in this city. I mean, but they're not been working in this city, even though they are certified officers.
What's 4,760, 2152.
I think we just put them the ones that's come up.
What is that?
She tell me.
It says 2 years academy, 2 years, $20.50. 2 to 3 years at the academy, $21.04. 3 or more years, $21.52.
To me, yes. I don't have any more questions.
Michelle,
No.
all right, what's your pleasure?
I'll move to hire Mr. Keith Johnson as a certified police officer, Holly Springs Police Department with a rate of pay of $21.52 per hour.
It's been moved by Alderman Ship, second by Alderman Steele. All those in favor? Aye. All right, all those opposed?
No. Nay.
3 ayes and 2 nays. All right. Next.
I got, yeah, that's it for, as far as the hires, but, one more issue I want to discuss as far as, detective.
How? Excuse me. That's just something about the how.
No, I mean,
Oh, so you gave, okay, so that's what it was. He had referred to this gentleman as Howell,
Yeah,
but the name is Washington.
Oh,
Okay, all right. She's, going, send me at the morning copies of their certification as well as the NCIC reports.
okay, all
I
right.
sent you an email today because I had not received that. And, so I need to have copies of the certification and the NCIC report so that we don't have us all confounded as we can't keep revisiting the wrong thing. So we want to make sure that everything is as was stated.
Okay, all right. And also, on, Detective Bobo, I had moved him over to, patrol, since, I think, last Friday. And, I'm requesting that, his, the pay that he gets this period be, as overtime added to his pay, since he is just in patrol for this period. He's been temporarily moved to patrol because we've been so short and we lost the officer, so I had to move him to patrol. So he's privileged to getting overtime.
So you're requesting that he be paid overtime for what period?
For this pay period here, and for the time being that he's in patrol.
So you're requesting that he be paid overtime until further?
Yeah, to further notice. While he's in patrol, yeah.
This is not a permanent lateral transfer, it's just temporary.
Yes, temporary. Till we get our numbers back up.
So who will work the cases?
He's doing a dual role right now, and that's why I hired Mr. English to come in and take over. And but Mr. Bobo is doing a dual role as far as he's been handling the patrol and also.
So it's actually not a transfer. He's just assisting with the patrol.
Yes.
You want to make sure that he's being paid overtime.
Yes.
So you're coming in because right now the understanding was that detectives would not receive overtime, but I suggest you look at the general orders on that. I brought that to another meeting. Because after we had a situation, another officer did take the time to look at the general orders to see how he applied. But carry on.
Okay. Yeah, so that's why I'm requesting now that he get paid overtime for the time being that he's in this role.
All right, so, Chief Vaughn has requested that, effective, I don't think we can do it retroactively, but I'll yield to, our lovely attorney. I think you can-
When, is it already been?
But I don't think you can do it retroactively.
You take Friday.
Sorry.
See, that's where he started, that day right there. Started. So anything before that, but anything after that.
I think it can be done if it was already due to him.
What?
I think it could be done retroactively if it was already due to him. But I'm not sure that if it wasn't already due
He's
to
worked
him.
like, some overtime out. He's been out. I just want to be sure we can do it and then check it out. And let us know if there's a problem later.
Yeah, I think that's the only issue is that whether or not it was actually due to him at the time. But whatever the board decides at this point. And then if it comes back that it's not permissible, then the attorney will advise. But I think that's the only issue.
All right, so what's your pleasure, is there a motion, for the chief, request to pay Detective Bobo, overtime effective from the last pay period until further notice? Sir? He's asking for, he's shorthanded because we had. So he's been working overtime. He's classified as being on Saturday. But what I have suggested at a prior meeting is to look at the general order, because once we had an issue with somebody else, I think he's entitled to overtime anyway. I don't think he's something. So, so that's why I said for him to check it, but he's asking tonight, because normally he gets comp time. So he's asking instead of him being accredited with the comp time, that he's actually paid the overtime.
Well, and let me ask you a question. With comp time, can they cash out their comp time?
No, ma'am.
Comp time? They can't?
Said it's a money law.
Then there's a minimum amount of comp time you get, maximum amount. Oh.
Excuse me? Oh, I said it's gonna be a while, but I know that. Oh, no, it was probably our last board meeting on Tuesday night that I hear you happened. That's what most of them went. All right, what's your pleasure? All right, what's your pleasure, everybody? Is a request to pay Detective Bobo overtime instead of comp time due to his assistance in the patrol division. Is there a motion?
I'm unclear. Sorry. I don't have a problem with him, man. Oh, he's not clear about it.
I think the only thing that I'm just thinking in my mind is the issue of back pay. If you all are going to do an extra act, that's the only thing that I just want to double check on. And that's what I was talking about, whether it was.
But it can be voted on moving forward from today, and then you can check on the prior pay period.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Right.
It wouldn't be back pay. We still got time to correct it.
Yes, for the period coming up.
Right, the pay period hadn't closed out. We still got until Thursday morning.
So for the period.
Then,
Okay.
then that alleviates my issue.
Is there a motion? Attorney Anderson just said that eliminated his concern. Thanks to Ms. Jones. All right, is there a motion to authorize the payment of Detective Bobo's overtime due to his service as a detective and also in the patrol division? Is there a motion?
I don't think we can go straight against it, but still, as I said, there's something that should. Yeah, to my life. And if he's due, what's
So,
due to him?
he's working at night, what other shift?
No, it's the same shift. Yes, the same shift. He's working in the daytime, but no, we lost a sergeant on that shift, so he's taking the place of that sergeant that we lost. Yeah, during the daytime,
And detective,
from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
it's what? 6 a.m., 6 p.m. what?
Uh,
Detective or sergeant?
Sergeant. Well, he's not a sergeant, but he's just on that shift. He's doing patrol.
6 a.m. to 6 p.m.?
Yes.
So when is he detective?
Well, whenever needed, if he get called out or whatever, whenever's needed. Yeah.
Detectives work 24/7. He may get called at midnight and come out, right, Detective Bobo?
Yes, ma'am.
You better come out. But they call me. I want him to talk to you too. So he works all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask the attorney, is to see, do we need to put anything other than, no, I was gonna say anything additionally, what you're saying, because you said earlier at the attorney's advisement, do we still need to do something?
No, the one thing that I was kind of concerned was cleared up when she explained that the pay period is still open.
Did she get, okay, all right, I'll make the motion.
Go ahead. What's the motion?
I just didn't know if we needed to add that to attorney's advisement, that's what he had said earlier, at the motion, so.
Authorize the payment of Detective Bobo overtime for his services to the patrol division, until further notice based on the attorney's advice.
No, but he said,
You don't have to know, whatever you.
that's fine, I'll make that motion.
To pay Detective Bobo for overtime while he is serving as patrol. We don't have to say back pay because it's the free period is not over. Leave that. So, and you added in that as long as we need to do that.
Yeah.
Is that a motion?
That's my motion.
Ms. Jones, you got that?
Use a second, cause Tia made a motion.
No, well, I'll retract mine and let her do that, because she just worded it, and I'll make the second.
All right, make sure you get the word. Is there a second, Teal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The move by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Teal. All those in favor? All those opposed? No. All right, roll call, please.
Alderman Fountain.
Sampson, aye.
If it is a salary, this is my thing, if it is a salary position, that person goes wherever it is needed. As a chief, you shorthanded, you can't go out and work some extra and over here, that's
Yeah.
a salary position.
I work Sunday night.
Alderman-
She asked me why, I tell her why I voted.
Alderman Jones. Alderman Ship. Alderman Teal. Alderman Merriweather. It was 2 nays.
So you got 3 nays and 2 ayes.
3 nays.
Alderman Fountain voted nay.
He said yes.
Oh, you said aye? Oh, I must check my. All right, so that's 3, oh, you said yay, okay. All right, so we have, the motion passes with 3 ayes coming from Teal, Merriweather, and Jones, and 2 nays coming from Fountain and Schiff.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
All right, thank you.
Read what she said.
all right, I am going to, need to depart at this moment. I think that did we hold something? Let me see.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, we held a, item for the utility department and invoice for CJ enclosure. And so, Ms. Russell, if you're still here, and Mr. Jones, if you'll come forward, and then also Chief Crane, I'll go down, and if you'll come with me, and let's see.
Thanks.
You haven't? All right, so Chief Crane has his, so once this is taken care of, we'll entertain that back. All right. Ms. Russell, you have brought before CJ Enclosures that invoice. Repeat that amount again, please.
$2,541.25.
All right, and Mr. Jones, the question from Alderman Merriweather was, are you aware of this invoice?
Yes, I am.
All right, okay, is there a motion to approve this invoice?
So just really quick, is these the new vehicles that we got and we just needed to?
Yeah,
It's not the,
Go-
we put fire extinguishers, that's the cost of the new lights
Right.
and the wig wax. That's
This
what it
was
is for
we-
5
we
vehicles.
wait.
We were, want to put on the, for meter readers. Is that the same?
It's 5 trucks, yes. One of them went to the
One
meter,
is for
yes.
the reading and the others for the different parts.
Gotcha.
All right, is there a motion to authorize the payment of the invoice to CJ Enclosures? Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right, it's been moved by Alderman Teal. Is there a second? Second. Okay, it's been second by Alderman Schiff. Moved by Alderman Teal, second by Alderman Schiff. All those in favor? All those opposed? 5 ayes, 0 nays. All right, Chief Crane,
Thank you.
come forward. He found his documents for that invoice.
Thank you.
That's you. Okay. All right, Chief Crane. Yes, these are, that was one truck. These are the, 2 older partners, but I looked him and such information and explain that. Thank you.
All right, back again. So what you have before you now is 2 vehicles that we're looking to declare surplus and to sell in the means of payment for the new truck we're looking at purchasing. And you'll see the years on the right side at the bottom for the ones that years it's been here. The one on the second page we've been had that's in the storage building for it's been almost 7, 8 years now, not in use. So
Which one's not in use, Chief?
the one on the second page, the one we're looking at replacing with will cover both the distance and reach for one vehicle versus 2. So that one vehicle will take the place of both of these.
So Chief Crane, let me ask you, what is the manner in which you would like to, sell these vehicles?
That's why I was stating that we're looking to sell these 2 for the purchose of replacement.
Right, like, are you looking at all it through?
Right, the one we talked about back in October 2023.
Are you looking at selling them through, like, auctioning them or through,
We're gonna go to
something about government deals?
government fire company truck seller because they would be the one that was certified to be sold again and coop money through them,
Okay.
not just a regular auction.
So, and that's for both of these, and you expressed that neither of these have been, used. One
Only
for
the
second
first
thing?
page one has been, but the second one has not, and it's been in storage out at City Shop and the garage building for quite some time now.
I used for approximately 7 years. And the other one, and the new truck, that we're receiving will replace both of these. The new, bucket truck.
Correct.
All right. So is there a motion to authorize Chief Crane to, sell, these 2, vehicles? One is, Chief Crane, what's the first one called?
First one is a 75-foot aerial, 1992 model. It's on the first page. And the second one is a 85-foot snorkel aerial platform, 1991.
1991?
Correct.
What's the year of the first one again?
1992.
Is there a motion? And you said that your request is to sell it through the government fire company. Is that the name of it?
It's probably government lease,
Sorry,
a government lease, company.
government lease, okay, that's the name of it?
I do believe that's correct. I don't have that information for me, but
So Chief Crane is asking, he's asking that the 1992 70-foot aerial truck in 1991, excuse me, 85-foot snorkel
Snorkel.
truck be sold, to be declared surplus and then sold utilizing government leasing. It's been moved by Alderman Teal, second by Alderman Fountain. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. Yeah, the motion passed, go ahead. The motion passed, go ahead.
Is the money do we have the money for the new truck?
that's what we look at the purchase.
I know, but do we have the money for the new truck?
I budgeted in for it.
I know we
I don't know what you, yeah, I get you.
I know we budgeted it in.
Yes.
But do we have the money and for the 20? No.
25,
Yeah.
25.
So I'm saying if we sell this ladder and we don't get the revenue for the new truck, what we gonna do? Do we have another truck with a ladder on?
No.
We sell it all ladders.
One's a bucket, it's not a ladder.
Right,
It's a
I
bucket.
see the bucket is
Right.
the second sheet.
And then the first
What
one
I
is a
call
ladder,
it.
which,
We just gotta hook it up.
right.
But, so we're selling all tall equipment, ladders. And we don't have the new truck, and we may not, we may,
The new truck is set to come in relatively soon.
but I'm talking about the money for the new truck.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about, you know.
Right, because we had a year
Oh,
to pay
we got
for it.
money.
Right.
But if we ain't got the money, it can't come. So I'm saying with, the only thing I'm speaking about is about selling that only ladder that we have.
Right, and it won't be done until we know we've,
But I'm just saying, when you
You're
look at
not gonna lose on the ladder.
The money is in the budget
Take
for
care
it.
of
I know it's in the budget, but I'm saying.
yes, it's not gonna move
So
until
that
that.
means he has permission to get it. Once you adopted the budget, then that mean you gave that department head permission.
You know that.
Mhm.
I'm just
So
saying
if you
that.
see a
But I-
need, if you see a need at any point where the money may not come in, that's where you may have to amend. But as long as it's there, he has.
I understand that 100%.
Correct.
So a question
I'm just
is,
asking a question about the ladder that we have just agreed to sell. And what he said is, he's not going to sell the ladder until the new truck comes.
Exactly. That's right. It's not gonna go to work before that time. No.
Okay, got it.
No.
So we,
No.
we have, okay. I just.
Only before then we can, because we'll be left without, and then,
Gotcha.
yes, ma'am. Understand clearly.
So this one is still in,
Yes.
The budget is not.
The bucket is not.
Okay. Then it needs to be amended because you
Can't declare
can't
surplus.
declare surplus if it's still in use.
Right.
okay, so that one is still in, so.
All right, so I'll make an amendment to my motion to exclude the ladder truck.
Correct. Until, because we still use
It's
it.
still in
Right.
use.
Then after which we'll do it again.
The ladder truck.
Yeah. That would be the 90,
I make a motion to exclude
92,
the ladder truck.
92.
Be moved to surplus for sale.
It's been moved by Alderman Teal. Is there a second? Second. It's been moved by Alderman Teal, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5 ayes, 0 nays. And I think, the only other thing that we did not, deal with, y'all asked me to hold the Alliance Healthcare Memorandum.
Thank you, Elvia.
And also, Helen, as far as Blackman, and I'll forward those, the email that is, sent to you all. So that, I'm gonna pass the others to all of the, Chip. Call it tomorrow. Always on.
I know that I was on section.
There are no comments or anything?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
It's from over Alderman Teal, second by Alderman Johnson, all those in favor? All those opposed?